the passport to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, regardless of duration of the validity period. Those passports will be cancelled with immediate effect. All those with multiple diplomatic, official, and service passports are hereby informed that those extra passports will be cancelled with immediate effect. Should you have any questions, or if you have information that justifies you having multiple diplomatic, official, and service passports, kindly contact the legal department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Reissuance of diplomatic, official, and service passports will be based on eligibility. The cost of the replacement of said passports will be free of charge to our citizens, with costs borne by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. For those outside of the country, any inconvenience at ports of departure and entry. For questions or concerns, please contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at 0888 500 055 or 0775 00055. Let me repeat those numbers. 0888 of this special project team, Patrick Dafwan, Hassan Conte, or any one of the team members, and they'll be able to assist you. Thank you.
Been nominated as the Assistant Minister for President Public Affairs, and Hassan, whose name the Minister just called as an operational assistant at the Ministry of Affairs, it by ensuring that this is where all of our people from the different sectors will come to tell the story. Having said that, Mr. Justice Minister.
Unfortunately, it's erupted and led to the death of some of our citizens, which the government highly and deeply regret. As tension again started mounting last weekend, a ministerial delegation traveled to Kinjal to engage a protester, and from those discussions, we are being informed that today all is calm. The protests have been stopped. The company has recommenced its operation, and so far all is good. We hope that remains that way peaceful. We all pray for a peaceful. The opposition is like one of my professors said, a twin brother. We can't overlook and the children who are suffering. So we try to be listening and see how the government can resolve issues. It's an ongoing process. The government will continue to be engaged with issues. It's a process, it's not a one-day thing. We are so informed, the communities, the protesters, the workers, that we will be there, we will hear the grievances, we listen to all sides, including the management, we listen to the petition, the ACON petition, and the government is working seriously hard to make sure that the issue are resolved. On the issue of the passport, you heard what the Minister of Foreign Affairs said. It is a national security issue. When you have situation in which your passport, especially your privileged passport, are being looked at with skepticism by the greater community and by the skeptical, where a government official or a diplomat presents a passport or a port of entry that's cause for concern. And the measures being taken by the Ministry of Foreign to safeguard that, to safeguard the integrity of our passport, to let the community of nations know that we are among them. We try to do things, keep to all international treaties and conventions that our government has entered, and uphold the different attributes, consulate and diplomatic and treaties and things that we sign. always an effort to safeguard the password integrity, the password, and to make sure we do things the right way. And that's why she announced the new policy, is the termination of the revised regulation and the bringing back of the March 2016 regulation. So that you gave the government a little chance, and can you see the effect of the new policy and how you do it? And once again, claim the spark we are among the community of nations. Thank you.
You know, the way this war is fought, and the people from the top are here collected. Your finance, they say, will come here and address the president. Then you will know that they play the arable money. Mr. Nathaniel Kelly, quickly, just run over that stuff so we can take some questions, starting with the Dean of the President's government.
Good afternoon, ministers and government officials. Good afternoon to the Cable Consortium of Liberia. It is a public-private partnership with government and MTN, Orange Liberia, Litalco. And last week, Thursday in the morning, the cable experienced an outage that I would say, for better words, put Liberia in black. Nobody were able to get on the internet. And this was about 4:46 a.m. So we all woke up to no internet, no WhatsApp, and what have you in the data space. 2-3 hours after that, we learned that the cable cord was somewhere between Dakar and Abidjan. But because it's a wide area, it took some time to locate where the cable cord came from, because there were a lot of speculations. And when we did identify that it was closer to Abidjan, what next we noticed and observed based on reports that it was not only the ACE cable system, which Liberia is a part of, but 4 other cable systems were also cut or had a cable break. So that even multiplied our problem. Because normally when there's one, then we rely on each other to see how we can reroute the traffic. But when you had 4, SAT3, main 1 cable, ACE cable, and MTN wax cable, all 4 went down, affecting over 15 countries. On the ACE cable, 9 countries got affected because 9 countries were members of ACE, and Liberia happened to be one of the 9 countries. Liberia have a partnership with ACE cable, and the operator that operates the cable is called the Cable Consortium of Liberia. This cable has been in existence since 2010. Since 2010 to today, we have had 3 of such incidents. Another information is that Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Gambia are the countries that only have 1 cable system in their country. And that poses a challenge for these countries, especially us in Liberia. But we have managed over the years since this cable came live to find different ways of rerouting and redirecting the traffic when it happens. Unfortunately, this time around, when 4 cables were out, it was hard and we had to go through a war room type of situation to address the issue. Yes, it is a national security issue. It's a national security issue not for Liberia, for all the countries that were involved. About 6, 7 o'clock, we then decided that the best way to do this is to do a multi-pronged approach. Have the people that can maintain the cable kind of start working on the cable. At the same time, try to redirect the traffic that was on each country. And redirecting the traffic meant that we were not using 100% of each person's network. Liberia normally will go to Ivory Coast and get on an express bus and go around the world. We couldn't go to Ivory Coast anymore. So we resorted to go from Liberia to Freetown, hoping that we get enough capacity and facilities to go from Freetown to Guinea, hoping that we get enough capacity and facilities to go from Guinea to Gambia and then to Dakar before we're able to go around the world. As we speak now, we have about 40% of our capacity restored. That's not a good number because I noticed that some people are still having problems with slow network, not full WhatsApp conversation, but we're working on it. It's not only Liberia, so everybody had to be given a portion of their facility to make sure we bring back their countries live. We are committed as ACE, CCL, to ensure that we bring the cable back to 100% recovery. We ask for patience, and when I say patience, I'm not saying 2 days patience. What has to happen? The ship that buries these cables will have to go to that location, and I think there's a couple of locations they have to go to. It takes about an average of 2 weeks to get those ships, first of all, negotiate for them to go out into the waters. They might be somewhere else, but we have to negotiate and get them there. And once they are there and the work has started, it takes another 4 to 5 weeks to complete their work. So what we are carefully doing in the interim is that we are guiding it with everything we have. So most cable station, landing stations have been advised that they have to run in 24.
Please stand in the queue. 4. Thank you. You may be yourself, please.
Okay, my name is Christine Humaru, and I'm a reporter from ECOWAS Radio. Your Excellency, you spoke about the termination of the revised diplomatic passports. I want to know, why is there a need for you?
Thank you. Good afternoon, members of the cabinet. My name is Desmond William, and I report for Angel TV and Abroad News Network. My concern to Madam Minister, you spoke about security implications on the issue about multiple passports. So I'm so concerned about what specifically are those implications are for which this restrictive regulatory policy is coming out. And my second question goes to the Minister of Justice, Councilor Tour. Honorable Minister, we followed the issues in Withdrawal, at which time the President Waka designated a committee to go and investigate the issues. And at the same time, the House of Representatives, under the gabble of the Speaker, Jonathan Funatikova, also set up a selected committee to go and investigate the situation. We want to know, what is the report of the executive committee that was designated by the President following your explanation that all issues in Withdrawal have been restored, operations have been going on, and with the protesters coming up with 38 counts? Where are the reports and what are the reports indicating for which operations have been restored in Withdrawal and the concerns of the protesters? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Minister and the high table. My name is Darlington Pogba, and I work for the West African Democracy Radio. And Africa Report Online in France. Madam Minister, you are keen on ensuring integrity to our passport sector. And before coming to this position, a major scandal occurred involving Sheikh Basuru County. Are you in any way concerned about this passport scandal? And maybe bringing to closure the issues of the case involving Sheikh Basuru County, don't you think this is also important to ensuring integrity towards the passport sector? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Minister.
Thank you for all of the questions, and I will respond to all of them holistically, because some of them are interconnected. What we have done today is not to impose a new regulation. What we have done today is to suspend the most recent revision of the regulation, which was dated July 2023, to reinstate the one that was in effect before. That ensure that all privileged passports, diplomatic, official, and service had a duration of 2 years. The July 2023 regulation gives a provision of 6 years for privileged passports. And given some of the challenges we have with the passport system and some of the national security concerns we have, we feel as an administration that 6 years is too long a period for people to be out there with our passports when the system isn't strengthened. Hence why it is a national security concern, because we need to make sure that the passports are in the hands of people who should have the passports. And so the validity period that was in effect prior will be reinstated, which is a 2-year validity, which, by the way, is the norm. I have not yet in my research found any country that has a 6-year validity for their privileged passports. I found some that have 5 years, United States, Pakistan, Nigeria, but not many. Most are 2-year validity. So what we're doing, into the other question, is not a restrictive policy. It's just going back to what we've had in place for many years until we can strengthen the system, until we can review the most recent revision to make sure it protects Liberia's security interests. How it will be done is the numbers that I provided, the names that I've given, you call those numbers. We have a team that will be ready to receive their calls. Let us know, when you want to come and bring your passport back. We'll already be working on the list. We know already who's eligible for those privileged passports in terms of the current administration. We know who's eligible from the former administration, the former presidents of this country, the former vice presidents of this country, former chief justices, former pro temps, former speakers, and former foreign ministers are entitled to privileged passports and diplomatic passports. So we'll already be working to ensure those VVIPs will get their passports as soon as possible. We won't need to wait in order for us to start working on that. The legislature, we know the legislature, we know those who are in the 55th legislature who have been issued passports who need to have them replaced. But we also don't know many people who have privileged passports who are listed in the database, who we don't know to be ones who are eligible. Those ones will have to come and confirm their eligibility to be reissued. Those who are not eligible, those passports will be cancelled. The past scandal that you mentioned and every other issue related to our passports is not a secret. Everybody knows. You've been hearing about the issues related to our passports. All this is about is making sure we strengthen the process. There are officials of government who travel with official passports, and they are detained or delayed in some places in Europe because of the lack of integrity of our passport. That should not happen to Liberians. We have a mobility index that is so low. There are only 29 countries that we can travel to without visa. Our mobility index, our passport integrity index, is so low. Our mobility index is 14%. All of these things are related. People want visas to go everywhere, but it's related to the integrity of the passport as well. And so we need to work on all of these things simultaneously to ensure that we as Liberians, all of us, have better mobility and our passports can be trusted. We will ensure that the team is working every day. Even on weekends, they will take calls if they're not able to receive passports on the weekends, but we'll make sure that they are available to the public so that this process can be as efficient as possible. Please know that this is really a situation that we cannot avoid when it is something evil in some part of this world. All of us should desire that our passports should be protected. Thank you very much.
So the minister has a meeting, very important meeting, so she will now wait. She will depart, and the questioning will continue with the Minister of Justice and the CCL.
The Minister.
So the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency Sara Nyanti,
So we will take questions for the
has
Minister
ended
of
the
Justice.
answer
If you have,
section
please
of
come in
all
the queue.
time, and told that she had having another meeting at her ministry as well, so she has just stepped out of the hall. And
Thank you. My name is Steven Ramos, and I
Seal
report
of
from Johannesburg. I'm
asked
a
my
bit
boy,
concerned about
Minister of Justice, time
the
for
current
questions.
situation of food in the country, where party litigants or pretrial detainees have been detained for several years since the government came in. Since this government came, there are now the appointment of Solicitor Generals, Assistant Minister for Litigation, County Attorneys are not properly functioning. As the Ministry of Justice actually concerned about addressing this people issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister. My name is Maurice Willety, and I report for OPFM. I just want to know how far is the investigation regarding the incident that took place in Kawa that involved the LEC guy and one Josephus Tupe. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Domingo. I write for the People's Newspaper. The issue in King George, there were some citizens who got arrested. They are still being detained in federal prison compounds. How far are we with that case involving the citizens from King County?
The Minister, you can address the concerns.
Thank you. In respect of the first question on the foot of the George incident, as a student, a career petition was submitted to the government. We went there yesterday. Of course, we didn't go through all the technical counts of the petition. Those counts are being looked at. Investigation are being done. All the parties will be questioned. The various teams from Labor, the National Bureau of Concession, Justice, Joint Security, everybody involved. Then we'll come up with a report, but it's a process. That report will be submitted to the President, and he will authorize the release. But it's a process, not a one-day affair. This government will take its time, will not be too hasty in doing reports and come to conclusion. We beg your indulgence. We beg your indulgence. It's a long-standing investigation. We study each county petition one by one. Do the investigation, talk with all those concerned, and try to do a report that adequately addresses the issue. We want to address the issue in a holistic manner to get to what we say the nitty-gritty and find a workable solution so we all can live in peace. And people who were brought to the country to help us for our economy will be able to carry on the work in a peaceful atmosphere. In respect of pre-trial detainee, this is an old age problem. It is more evident now because of the overcrowdedness of the different prison facility. The Ministry of Justice, in conjunction with the courts and the public defenders, are working on an arrangement to see what can be done to try and ease the overcrowdedness situation at the prison. But you will have to, again, consider, when you talk about pre-trial detainees, you have to be careful how you look at each case that be done on an individual basis. You have people pre-trial detained because of allegations that committed rape. Satisfactory to all. So the investigation is ongoing, and as soon as it is concluded, you will be informed. Yes, when the first incident in Georgia occurred, arrests were made. Arrests were made. But those arrested, they are being investigated, but presently, they have been released. People signed for them. So as of that investigation, I don't think we have anybody from that incident in custody. So the investigation is continuing, and as the need arrives to talk to those suspects again, they will come forward. Those who are responsible for them will bring them forward. Thank you.
So let's take Matt, if you have questions for him.
Thank you. Do you have a question from Mr. Nathaniel Kiabi? I is technical too. So the Deputy Minister for Technical Services.
The Mika on technical?
But
I have a confirmed, appointed and confirmed government official here. Great things are happening at LBA, and I think we should hear from Pagong.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Pagong. Your own platform.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Fourth Estate. And let me say good afternoon to my bosses here. The Honorable Minister of Justice. I always say the only man I can argue with the President. You argue with the President, you lost your job. And I have my friend and brother, Jerry McBeer, and all the Honorable Steve Zago. You guys are not strangers to him. But it's great to be back with you guys, and I'm sure you're familiar with the voices. You guys miss me a lot. Yeah. But anyway, it's good to be on a very formidable team. And let me say at LBS, I said to all of you the other day that LBS will never be the same. And so we had our first meeting. I had a meeting with the Chinese ambassador. It's just great to be back. We're here to rescue, and we will rescue. That is, I'm happy again that all of you here are from various news networks. You're from various media institutions. But let me be clear. LBS, and I'm happy the chairman is here, is now going to be a public broadcasting system. We're not going to be the mouthpiece for any political party or political leader. We're going to give you the news as it should be. LBS will be open. 60% of our budget, we cannot afford to give them just 30 minutes. It will be an hour for MICAT. Having said that, to many of you, you've been helping us. Thank God the chairman of the board is here. We're not in the market to compete. But LBS has always been number one, and that's the way it's going to stay. And we're going to recruit the best. So some of you here may not be with your institutions. We're going to pay high to get the best and deliver to the people as enshrined in Article 15A going forward. So maybe I'll take one or two questions and that's it.
Thank you. The confirmation on LBS. Please come ask questions.
Quick, the minister got to go.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Fagon. I just want to hear from you what's the vision for the substation in all counties.
Thank you very much. There are 7 substations for LBS. 7 substations. Last time I checked today, all of them were up and operational, but they consume a lot of fuel. So we're going to be looking at alternative energy, such as solar. If I can spend $25,000 on a substation, I will be glad to do so 3 years, than to spend $25,000 for a period of 6 months on fuel. So we're going to be putting everything on the table, and we're going to do everything that is possible to keep the station afloat, to keep the television and radio stations afloat, and to keep the system working.
Thank you. Because I spent record, I'm I'm sure and I'm certainly convinced that reporters at LBS received at maximum not less than 100 hours. So how do you intend, in terms of transformation, in keeping with best international labor practice, how do you intend to rehabilitate staffers welfare at LBS? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. I'm sure that will be the final one. We will take into consideration the decent work and more than what any of the stations are paying if they're one of the best in the market. And the reason for that is simple. The Liberian people deserve the best, so we will pay for the best and give the Liberian people the best. Thank you very much.
We would like to appreciate you, our media friends, for that. You listened to the minister when he spoke earlier, he indicated that this platform, henceforth, will be the only platform via which government institution will speak to the Liberian public to disseminate information surrounding the progress made by government. And so, in furtherance of that, on this Thursday, we have here the asset recovery team to be speaking to you, members of the press. So we also look forward to see you here. That being said, we'd like to commend our distinguished platform guests for today, for coming today to speak to the Liberian people. I do believe that
That's it. Thanks for watching. My name is Wise. Next Thursday, as we come back here.